Hi Logan, it's Aussie Villain. No mate, you'll still be wearing the clown outfit. Yeah. But anyway, look, the reason I'm calling is that we've got some new parts that we'd like you to test in FP1 if you're up for it. Awesome mate, sounds good. See you at the track. Yeah, so Logan mate, look, I'll be honest with you, she might be a little draggy, but on the upside, I doubt you're going to have to do any overtaking. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Kicking Haas. Today we have the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Got it first time this year. It's the San Marino Grand Prix for all intents and purposes at Imola. And yeah, this is very, very exciting. With testing starting in real life today, I am absolutely buzzing for this episode, I've got to say. But let's have a quick catch up on where things stand. We are third in the drivers, third in the constructors. We are top of the drivers. No, we're not. We're a point behind Verstappen and the drivers. But that is the bare minimum of what has happened this since last episode. Let's go and catch up here. Now, the first thing to catch you up on is technical changes for next season. So we had a choice between low downforce, cutting back, or high downforce. It was high downforce that we voted for because that's, of the three, our weakest, or we're stronger in slow corners anyway. So I'd rather lose more of what we're bad at, which will cut back other teams that are better than us, cut back their advantage, I suppose, but realistically we're quite good in corners anyway. So that's what's gone through, which means we can already in round 4 start looking towards next season's car. Now, we're not going to do that yet, but we could if we wanted to. So that has happened. We've had some, well, this is saying here we can research next year's car now, but the other things that have happened, our suspension and our side pods are both ready to put on the car, which we're going to do momentarily. There's been a little bit of just updating poor condition of facility, so that's all fine. And the memorabilia room upgrade has been completed as well. So that is, I think that might even now, yeah, it is, I think the top level. So that's all very, very exciting. But the car is what we're looking at right now, and let's go and have a look at what happens when we stick on the new parts. So we're going to show rank on the grid. New side pods, they're designed, they're ready to go, and this is going to put us, rank on the grid please, it's a bit easier to understand. So 5th into high-speed corners and 18th on engine cooling. So that's, you'd say, a minor step forward, but it is still a step forward. And the other part we can go and upgrade is the suspension. So if we go and change that to this one, and we can see that it is going to put us 9th on top speed. Wow, 7th with DRS, so this is going to make a huge difference. Brake cooling is still a problem, but we've got a quick car in a straight line all of a sudden. That is going to make a massive difference. That's always been our Achilles heel. And now we might be able to, well, we might be able to not have that as a problem. I am so excited for this. All right, that is that. Now, if we go back and have a look at drivers, Logan Sargeant has a development point. We're going to stick that instantly into overtaking because I think we can kind of assume that that's his problem. K-Mag does not have a development point. Jack Crawford does as well. We'll continue to move him forward. We're going to have to work on his overtaking before long as well. But we'll try if we can get these to 70, all to 70, and then start on overtaking. That would be a good thing. I don't know if we're going to have that much time, unfortunately. Staff. Now, head of aero has a development point. That can go into cooling because that is, along with drag reduction, a weakness of the car, but cooling it's our big weakness all of a sudden, isn't it? So we need to work on that. Race engineers are still where they were. So that just brings us to the race now. We are expecting, it looks like a wet qualifying, dry race. So 34 degrees. That can't be right. Northern Italy in April, it's not going to be 34 degrees, is it? Surely. Global warming is in full swing in 2024, if that's the case. All right, so circuit map. We can see for qualifying there, red is sector 1, blue is sector 2, yellow is sector 3. Sections by speed. It's one of my favorite tracks, Imola. I really, really do enjoy it. We can see there, just cornering is what is key here. And we've got a nice little bit of speed now as well to be able to help as well. Now, pit lane loss is 27 seconds. Virtual safety car will knock 12 seconds off. The safety car will knock about 12 seconds off that. But it's a big time loss. Looks like it's a 1-stop. Potentially, you could do a 2-stop if you wanted to, but I don't know really why you would unless it's a safety car. The soft tyre is only average lap time about 0.4 of a second faster, and it drops away 0.4 or 0.04 of a second a lap as well, faster than the hard. So it's not going to be a race for the soft tyre, is it? It's going to be a 1-stop, medium hard, And that'll be that, won't it? Last year's race, K-Mag came in 9th. Logan Sargeant in 14th. Historically, Verstappen and Leclerc have won in our world. They have won both of the races. So let's go and have a look at our performance targets here. Qualifying of 8th, reach Q3. I think we can hope realistically to do that. Fastest lap. Go on, why not? Let's have a go at that. And we did get the qualifying streak. We just need someone in the top 10 for 5 races in a row. And we need someone in the top 10 for 3 more races to get our finishing position bonus as well, which is £1.3 million or dollars, which would be very nice indeed. So let's head off to San Marino. And there we go, confirmation of the weather. It's moderate rain on Saturday. Now, that could be for FP3. We'll find out, though. I'll let you know how the weather is in FP3, and I'll see you for qualifying. Okay, so qualifying is upon us. It hasn't rained yet, which means it's in all likelihood going to be a wet qualifying. And the good news is that we look competitive here. FP1, Sargeant in P5. We had Crawford in the car down there in P15, which and only 8/10 off the pace. That's, I think, the best we've seen from him so far. So that was excellent. FP2, we had K-Mag back in the car. Only did his best lap on a medium tyre. So that's probably why he's down there in 9th. Sargeant in 10th. And then if we go to FP3, K-Mag up there in 3rd. Wonderful to see. And Sargeant inside the top 10 as well. So it's looking as though the upgrades, they're definitely helping us, I'd say. So let's go to qualifying and see if we can kick that on a little bit. Now, it doesn't look as though it is it's supposed to rain. You can see confidence is okay. We have used an extra set of soft tyres to save a medium set for the race. I'm really banking on rain here because otherwise we're going to be very short of soft tyres. So do your rain dances. I'll do Q1. I'll see how that went. Okay, so indeed FP1 was absolutely fine. We did have to do a second run with K-Mag. His first lap he got balked by, I think it was Hamilton actually. Sargeant just did the one run. He was always, you can see there, 3/4 tenths. He was never in any danger of missing out. So Q1 was dry. That means Q2 may be the one that's a little bit of rain. Okay, now we have come straight out here because as you can see there is wet weather predicted. 4 minutes, moderate rain. We need to get this lap in and we need to get it in first time of asking. So let's hope that we can indeed do this. This is very much one shot, I would say. I don't think we'll get a second chance at it. So here we're on board with Sargeant. Magnussen is behind him. Hopefully we're not going to get blocked. There is a McLaren coming out of the pit. Is that going to hold up? K-Mag, get out of the way! Just about, but we got away with that. All right. If we can do a good lap here, it'll be job done. So green and purple, we're the first 2 cars through, so you'd hope we'd be the fastest. But as long as this is a good lap, there are teams that are not going to get times done. And I mean, ideally, these cars in the pit lane, one of them is a Red Bull. If they want to start from the back, that's absolutely fine. We've got another car getting in the way of Sargeant here, but it's not going to hold him up. Sargeant goes top. K-Mag will come across the line, and he will replace him. So that should be enough to get us through. Let's hope anyway. So the rain has started. It is very much coming down. It is now a wet track. We are 3rd and 4th. We're going to get through. And Perez, Sainz, Russell, Bottas. I mean, there's a lot of fast cars, and only one of them is going to be able to sneak in here. So this is good news for us. Not so good news if you're one of those cars trying to get in, I would imagine. So in the end, Bottas and Perez were able to sneak their way through with Vettel as well, who looks like he was doing a wet time. So, yeah, there's no real shockers that have gotten through. I mean, you'd be surprised Norris and Albon as high up as they are. But Sainz in the Ferrari has missed out. Russell in the Mercedes has missed out as well. So there's some maybe more surprises of who missed out than who got in. Okay, so it has been a dry Q3 and, well, Bottas is ahead of Magnussen right now, which is annoying. There's a big gap there. Sargeant, who we're on board with, definitely got held up on his lap by Vettel, who was just in front of him and just never really got out of the way. We're sort of mid-pack here. It was getting to the point where I didn't want to miss out on getting a lap in. So we've not got the best track position, but it's better than no track position, and we really did need a lap. Neither car on new tyres as well. The first run was on used set. And we've done green second sector with Sargeant and with Magnussen. We are catching this car in front here with Sargeant. Let's see what he can do. He's down to 9th. He goes to 7th. K-Mag is currently 6th. He goes to 5th. So there's still a few cars on a fast lap, but they're all in front of us. So it'll be 5th and 7th. So consistent, at least, Sargeant is close to K-Mag, which is hopefully good if he can just keep the car on the friggin' track. If he finishes 7th, that's absolutely fine. Just don't crash, Logan. Now, in terms of strategy, what do we want to do here? Now, it was a media. Could we do soft, hard to soft? I mean, you can. To be honest, you can. And it's saying it's probably the quickest way to do it. And what we can also do here is stop a little bit earlier. I mean, I think I like that. Maybe we'd be a little bit more racy with K-Mag on the medium tyre. But then you're not using the soft at all then. Is there an argument to say, maybe do it this way, start on the soft, get a quick start, move up a little bit, go onto the hard tyre. When everybody else is on sort of wearing mediums, we'll have a fresh set of tyres onto undercut and then just try and hold on from there. And then there's always the option, if we have a late race safety car, that we can go and make another stop. So I think I like that for both cars? I'm not sure which one I like, so I think I will split it. But yeah, well, it's going to be an interesting race. We appear to be good. We know that our tyres, we saw in the first race of the season, our tyres can tend to outlast the opposition. So, let's see what we can do here. Okay, welcome back. This is has a lot of promise, this race, for us, I think. We will jump on board with K-Mag when we can, given that he is on the soft tyre here. And see what sort of start he gets. Other cars, there's a lot of hard tyres. There's actually all 3 compounds are being used. And we don't want to let that McLaren pass on a hard tyre, please, K-Mag. And we should have the inside line here to see that off. We do. Sargeant has stayed in 7th on his hard tyre. K-Mag needs to make this work for him now. As he's not started on a brand new set either, which is annoying. I should have checked that, obviously. But yeah, this is K-Mag's time to shine. He needs to get some moves done. As ever, we were deploying the first few laps to try and go as fast as we can before DRS opens. And Sargeant moves up to 6th. It's got past, I've missed it, got past Norris, so that's good to see. They're both, of course, on the hard tyre. Now, there wasn't a massive difference in speed between the hard and the soft, of course, but we should have a little bit better track, or hard and the medium, I should say. We're racing medium tyres here, aren't we? What we do want is we want to get ahead of Bottas. We're currently ahead of Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship, so we want to make sure that that's an advantage that we're keeping. And there's a move by K-Mag at the chicane. He's got a hard tyred Perez in front of him. He's going to send one down the inside there, and K-Mag has made up 2 positions in a lap. That is a little bit of magnificence from the legend that is Kevin Magnussen. DRS is now enabled. And we've got K-Mag currently on the podium. And let's see if he can now go and close down the gap to Verstappen and Leclerc in front. He needs to do that in order to get... we need to deploy here. We need to get there to get the DRS. That's what I'm thinking about. We need that DRS down the front straight. Otherwise, we're going to be a sitting duck for those behind us. Let's push on a little bit with the petrol as well. This is absolutely key. And we are almost at the DRS detection point as well. And we've not got it. We've been about 10th or 2 short there. And I suspect, unfortunately, we might see Perez coming down the inside of us. No. So there we go. Those improvements to the car have definitely helped us. Now we're 2 seconds back. They do have DRS, and we're sort of stuck in no man's land here, where even though we're going to be faster through this part of the lap, we're going to close in the gap. They're going to DRS each other down the straight, be quicker. And yeah, well, it's going to be a long slog here for K-Mag to try and get this back. What we might be better off doing, yeah, we're kind of stuck, aren't we? If we can keep Perez behind us, great. Otherwise, we're going to have to wait for the undercut, I think. Okay, so the race has really settled down here. K-Mag is just doing enough to stay ahead of Perez and Bottas. And Sargeant in 6th has no one around him, so he's not trying to overtake. He doesn't need to defend. It's the best place for him. It really, really is. If he can just stay there, he might be on for some points here, which would be magnificent if he can do it. But, yeah, it's looking as though the front 2 are just a little bit too quick for us, given, of course, that we're on the soft tyre with K-Mag as well. He is very much just going to have to try and hold on for 3rd, which won't be great for his championship, because Verstappen will go past him, or further ahead of him, I should say. But you know, if this is what his race weekend is going to be, then that's absolutely fine as he approaches his pit window. Alright, so we have... Well, Bottas has run wide. We have Magnussen pitting this lap out of 4th. As you can just see, Perez got in front of him. Went a couple of laps longer, just trying to take the soft tyre as far as we can. And now we'll put on the hard. This is hopefully going to be K-Mag to the end. We'll see where he comes out. Hopefully not in too much traffic. And, yeah, the downside of this strategy, I've just realised, is that he might find himself held up coming back through. But we'll see how he gets on here. We just need to back things off a little bit. And it looks as though we have actually found a nice little gap for him. 6 seconds in front, 3 seconds behind. He should be able to get some sort of advantage from his new tyres in this position. And hopefully, when the others come in, he'll be in a position to to overtake them. Or at least be back in the battle for the lead. He's got 10 seconds or so to make up to do that.
Okay, there's a big
okay, we've had a crash. Is this a safety car crash? No, it is not. Verstappen has just come in the pits. Now, he has come out still well ahead of K-Mag. Bottas has crashed. So, Bottas, of course, was ahead of Sargeant. Has he taken out Perez as well? That'd be a nice little bonus for us, wouldn't it? He has... No, he's done a Logan Sargeant. Oh, that could be out as well, actually. So, that moves Sargeant up into 4th, which is absolutely huge. Sargeant has that Bottas in front, so he'll go up to 3rd, of course, because we've just seen Verstappen pit. So Leclerc is coming in here as well. Now that is no doubt to cover off the Verstappen stop, and well, let's see where K-Mag comes out in relation to him. As lots and lots of cars coming in the pits now. It's going to be all the medium-tired runners, I would imagine. And yeah, well, Sargeant, when he doesn't have to overtake anybody, he's brilliant, isn't he? Magnussen up to 10th now. Leclerc did come out. Leclerc came out in front of Verstappen, did he? So Leclerc is overcut. That's huge for the race. It's huge for the championship as well, because that could only help Magnussen if there's lower down that Verstappen finishes. But anyway, we will keep going here and keep your fingers crossed Sargeant stays on the track. As Sainz has got past Magnussen, that is not what we needed, though he hasn't stopped yet, so it's not the end of the world. Alright, so K-Mag currently finds himself in quite the train here, stuck behind Vettel. Now, Sainz has... Oh, we've got someone running wide there. It was Albon, I think, which helps us. Sainz apparently has stopped, but he's got on a medium tyre. He must have maybe started on a soft, gone soft-medium, so he'll have to stop again, whereas we know K-Mag is going to the end here. Sargeant down to 3rd. That is Leclerc that's got past him. Verstappen will get past him as well. That's not his race right now. Bottas is having a Logan Sargeant race, to be honest. So I think K-Mag is in a battle with Perez over 3rd, and arguably Sargeant's in that same battle, actually. As there's another crash in Sector 3, or yellow flag anyway. Verstappen overtakes Sargeant, which is not to be unexpected. We have done a little bit of battery charging behind Sainz here, so we'll try and use that to our advantage here and get us past this AlphaTauri of Seb Vettel. We should get that done now. So that is fine, and then hopefully, we're a second back of, we're only 21 seconds off the lead here of Perez, and it's more than that, obviously, to do a stop. Let's go deploy. We need to try and catch up to the back of Sainz here if we can. Use his medium tyres to top us along down the straight with DRS, and yeah, back up into contention. I mean, Leclerc is a very, very fast car, so Sainz has the same car here. So he could definitely tow us back up quicker than we would do by ourselves, I would imagine. But anyway, keep your fingers crossed. Sargeant he's having a good race. Oh, Logan. He's locked up. It's not cost him anything yet. But no one around. I was trying to push him on a little bit. That's actually an easy mistake to make, and it's not really cost him anything. So the clown suit will remain, but not the worst thing that could have happened. It has cost him a little bit of time, though, obviously, coming up to his pit window, which is why we're trying to push him on here. But oh, Sargeant, when will you... I'm kind of glad, actually. I kind of want to keep wearing the clown suit. Okay, so Logan Sargeant is coming into the pits. Perfect timing as Magnussen just caught him and then got DRS off the back of him. So that has worked out absolutely. You'd say I'm a genius if it was if I did it on purpose. 2.9 second stop. He's predicted to come out in 12th, which is around about Carlos Sainz. And there goes Carlos Sainz. So he's got a soft tyre. Everybody around him is on mediums and hards. We probably don't want to push the tyre too much though, mate. But what we will hopefully do is get ourselves back up into the points. Perez is stopping. Alright, now this is huge. Perez is in the pits. Let's see if K-Mag can get out in front of him. Now Perez is going to have a soft tyre as well, which is going to make this very difficult to keep him behind. There's quite a few cars coming in here. So, let's see what the gap is. Perez is quite a ways behind K-Mag. On a soft tyre though, with 20 laps to go. So... well, we'll see what happens. Sargeant has found himself in 9th. Let's have a sneaky bid for fastest lap here. We've got a little bit of extra petrol in the tank. Maybe should have committed to this a little bit sooner, but anyway. He's done a green first sector. Can he do a purple middle sector for us? He's done a green, so possibly this isn't going to be fastest lap of the race. To be fair to him, we probably needed a charge-up battery lap and go for it. But anyway, he has not done the fastest lap of the race. But that's okay, K-Mag. Just, who are you? Sargeant. Just keep it on the track here, mate. Is anybody else going to stop? Possibly not. So the Mercedes have both... so he's actually lost out a little bit here because Alonso and both the Mercedes have come out significantly better than he has. But on a soft tie-up... what was the last lap times? 1:17.2 to 1... so not even that much quicker. Well, 9th is better than a kick in the balls for Sargeant, isn't it? So we'll just take what we get here. So I don't think there's much we can do about this. Perez is about to come past K-Mag. Down the straight, I assume, is where it's going to happen. There's still quite a ways to go. 14 laps, so there's no point really fighting it too hard, if I'm completely honest. But, yeah... maybe the way to go was to do the hard and then soft at the end. Because it looks as though Perez, albeit in likely a faster car, is going to get the better of us here. I tell you what, we've definitely improved our straight line speed handling. Even with DRS there, he's not been able to get past. So fight for it, K-Mag. You've only got another 14 or so laps to go. And whilst we're watching that, we've just seen Sargeant DRS his way past the Mercedes of George Russell down the front straight. So he now moves up into P8. Sainz in front. That'll be a tough one for him to catch, but who knows how far he can go here. And there goes Sergio Perez past K-Mag. It was inevitable, really, wasn't it? But 4th for K-Mag. If that's where he finishes, that's not a bad afternoon's work. Alright, we are very much in the danger zone here for Logan Sargeant. He is behind another Mercedes. This time of Bottas, who has been locking up all over the shop. He's very much had a Logan Sargeant sort of race. But can we get this done? Take your time, Logan. You'll get him down the front straight. You'll get him down the front straight. Open your DRS. Pick your braking marker. You've cruised straight past him here, mate. Just please don't crash. There we go. P7 for Logan Sargeant. He still has Sainz in front. We've got Alonso not that far up the road. He could very much be on for driving back to the P6 he was in for so long and during this race. Let's keep our fingers crossed he does. Oh, and never mind. He is locked up. Both the Mercedes go past. And, I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Back to P9 we go. So very much, the frustrating thing about Logan Sargeant is that he's quick. He has caught the back of the Mercedes in a couple of laps. And, well, now he's stuck behind them in a DRS train. He could well get back to 7th here. And to be honest, he deserves at least that. He deserves 6th. He's not going to get to Alonso now. But let's see what he can do against Bottas. I mean, it's obviously hard to drive a Formula 1 car, but... it's so frustrating because he is quick. I don't understand why he keeps making these mistakes. It was the same part of the track as well, both times. So he's not quite managed to get an overtake done there. Yeah. What, 3 laps to go. Oh, he's a frustrating young man, isn't he? Alright, so we are coming around to start the last lap with Logan Sargeant. He's a little bit too far back. We've tried to, a little bit concerned about the fuel range here. So we'll just drop that off till it gets back to positive. Yeah, he's just not good enough, is he? Yeah. It's good. Then there we go. Charles Leclerc has won the race. Can he use the battery to get one of the Mercedes back? At least he scored points if we're looking at positives. I mean, that is a positive. K-Mag is about to come across the line and finish 4th. In the end, he was 11 seconds back of Perez. But that's absolutely fine. And here we go. Logan Sargeant is about to come home in 9th in a race he could easily have come 6th. So there we go. K-Mag up 1 to 4th. Sargeant down 2 to 9th. Good recovery drive from Sainz after his wet qualifying mishaps. But yeah, really just disappointing, wasn't it? So both Red Bull drivers are now ahead of K-Mag, which is, again, a little bit disappointing. Early days, though, we're still very much in striking distance. Sargeant pops his head up there in 13th, although it's behind my head, so I don't know how much you'll be able to see of that. The constructors, at least he's contributed something. I think that's roughly what I feel right now. Red Bull and Ferrari, they have 2 drivers, don't they? That means that they're always going to be that much ahead of us. But anyway, if you've enjoyed that, make sure you hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. I believe the next race is at Miami. I think it's Miami now. I believe we got a 1-2 there, or 1-3. Certainly we did very well there last year. So let's hope for more of that this time around. But if you have enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you next time. Take care.